What's happening, guys? Me and Luke are back to talk about life and give you life tips and relationship tips because we know something about everything, don't we, Luke?
And nothing about nothing. I think that works well. Yeah. No, thanks for having me back. Is this the third time we've done this?
This is the third time. Yeah, this is like a bit of therapy, isn't it? Kind of release all of our thoughts here every week.
I wish we could, but I don't think that would be a very good idea.
We did that yesterday.
Which we won't repeat on air.
No, you have to subscribe to. We should set up a Patreon channel for what we really think of people.
No, we shouldn't. I think everyone is amazing because everyone is unique. That's what I think.
Everyone is unique in their own special way.
So, how's the health? Last time we spoke, you were a bit sick.
Yeah, I'm feeling good. I'm finally back to normal. My body weight is really heavy at the minute. I'm nearly 127 kg. So I'm feeling better. What's your body weight at the minute? I'd love if I was able to put on weight the way the likes of you and Graham Hicks can, and even Adam Bishop. Adam Bishop was 105. And I think one of the last times I saw him was when he was prepping for his deadlift. And he was 161 or 2 kilos. Like that's over 50 kg muscle. And it was proper. It wasn't fat. It was muscle. He was thick. It was all his shoulders and his back. And it's like, why can't I do that?
I don't know. Speaking of Graham Hicks,
he's on a food as well.
Yeah. What do you eat?
What were you saying?
Oh, shit. Something happened.
We paused.
Oh, that was weird. Sorry, guys.
Sorry,
professional as always.
Graham Hicks has actually lost weight.
That's because of you. You've been telling him what to do, haven't you? Giving him
I've been aiding him in his conditioning, and it's actually really paying off for him because he's like, I've seen his loading and I've seen his power stairs and stuff like that, and I'm going to say it now, he will be extremely hard to beat Britons. Even as good as Luke Richardson is looking right now, it's going to be so hard to beat Graham because, like, Graham is obviously, you know yourself, he's one of the most powerful men on the planet. Mm. He's a 220 kilo strict log. He's a 1,000 pound deadlift. I think he's like a 1,000 pound raw squat. So if you can just get him fit, he's very hard to beat. You know, like one of Eddie Hall's last competitions was Britain's Strongest Man, I think, and Graham Hicks was up against him in the soup yoke, and the yoke was 440, I think, and Graham Hicks did it in 8 seconds. So like, he's fit. He's a hard man to beat, and that's where he is at the minute. He's down to 140. He's 48 kg, around 150, 148. So he's fit at the minute. Oof. It's going to be interesting.
Hicks is a beast, man.
He's lucky I'm not a Britain's though.
Yeah. I'm sure he is thinking that because you have got obviously good events, a good event.
My best is mind games.
On yourself. No, it's funny. Hicksy just phoned me there. I just saw my phone flash up, and let's see what he's saying. Oh, he wants to buy a dry robe. Hicksy, if you're watching this, I'll send you down one for free. There we go.
They're actually really comfortable.
Yes, check out StoltenBrothers.com.
Do you know, before I come on here, I was reading the story, and it was actually, now obviously it was bad for some of the people involved, but I'm sorry, I found it really funny because it kind of reminded me a bit of Tom Stoltman. But anyway, so there's this couple, right? This is a true story. There's this couple, and they have this child, and he's a teenager. He's 16 years of age, right? So he's 16 years of age, but he's autistic as well. Okay, and he'd probably be on the heavier scale of things. Obviously, as I go into the story, you'll understand why. So, this evening, anyway, the parents were sitting down on the couch and they're watching TV, and he runs into the sitting room, and he's like, I caught one. Mom, I caught one. It's out in the shed. We need to go to the shed. I want to show you I finally caught one. And she was like, what are you talking about? He goes, I finally caught one. Yes, I can't believe I finally caught one. And she was like, you stop, go up to your room and do whatever. She says, what are you talking about? He goes, Mom, come out to the shed. I want to show you what I caught. I want to show you I finally caught one. Now, this is a true story. So he brought her out into the shed, and what was inside in the shed? A fucking dwarf. An actual, real human being was inside in the shed. Now, this 16-year-old, they described him as a really strong 16-year-old, which is why it reminded me of Tom. But hadn't he gone out and just saw this dwarf on the road and picked it up and brought it into the shed and locked it into the shed? But weren't they watching Lord of the Rings over the Christmas, and he was obsessed with the fucking dwarf? Lord of the Rings.
Oh, mate. I've caught one. Oh my God, that's Tom actually did the same.
Huh?
Tom does the same, but it's just the normal people because everyone's that short compared to Tom.
Yeah, that's what he did to me.
You look good. You look like one of those like garden gnomes, you know, with a fishing rod.
That's racist.
How is that?
Because I'm Irish and a leprechaun.
I said a gnome, a gnome. That's a good story. I didn't know where you were going to go with that, Pat. To be honest, I was ready to press leave and stop recording.
Your finger just waving over.
I'm sweating buckets at the moment.
That must be the thermal jacket that you're wearing.
Yeah, very nice. Just shows off my blood pressure.
So I meant to do this the last time we were talking, but obviously I got sick and we didn't get to do it. But I put up a questionnaire on YouTube, and people wanted to ask us some questions, so I'm just going to go through a few of them. I'm not going to go through all of them. Wow, this is going great. You know what? A load of ones that I got, actually, it was after Britain's was shown on TV. This came up a lot of times, and it was talk about your 3 kids and why you never talk about them on YouTube. That shocked me last night, watching Britain's Strongest Man on Channel 5. Do you have a wife? So weird you never talk about this. I don't think it's weird that I keep my personal life away from my strongman life, because, as you know, there's a lot of weird people out there. I get sent a lot of weird shit. I get sent a lot of dick pics. And I'd like if they didn't reach my children. So that's
a fair point.
Yeah, there's so many freaks out there. Like, I'm sure if you go into your message requests, you get some funny fucking messages.
Yeah, it's usually from you, mate, to be honest.
Here's one. Who is going to be the best strongman in 2023, and why will it be Hooper? It won't be Hooper. Who's it going to be? It's going to be Tom!
I mean, no, I think Mitch will have an awesome year like he did last year. You know, all jokes aside, he's fantastic, but Tom's still the best in the world.
Yeah, to be fair to Mitchell, he is gifted, the bastard. He is gifted at he's no real bad events, has he? He's good on everything. So
he's smart as well. He's like intelligent, I think, with how he like analyzes things. You know, I noticed he was like changing his technique in the dumbbell as well, which is, you know, I think that's what you got to do.
he leaves the ego at the door. He takes on advice. Yeah, he's clever that way. That's another thing that that's really helps Novikov as well. I find he's really clever in the way he approaches different events. And if there's a funny event coming up, you'd be tending to watch Novikov and how he does it. Did you guys watch the 2023 Mr.Olympia? And what did you think about it? I used to be a massive fan of Mr.Olympia years ago when I first started lifting weights, when it was really good, like Ronnie Coleman and the Jay Cutler era. And even though I wasn't a fan of Phil Heath, he was a great bodybuilder, but after Phil Heath, it's been absolute shit.
I like the Chris Bumstead. Have you seen CBum? Do you know Chris Bumstead? I like his the lighter weight guys.
The classic physique, yeah.
Classic physique, yeah. They're a bit, I don't know, they just look a little bit
normal.
Yeah, I mean, the guys, don't get me wrong, remember, like, was it Marcus Rule? Do you remember him?
Yeah, loved him.
He was huge, man. He was like, but he'd probably be small in today's, like, bodybuilders. You got Big Ramy, who just looks like a monster.
No, Marcus Rule used to go on stage at, I think his biggest was 298 pounds, and Ramy is shorter than him, and he's around the same body weight. So Rule was just, I think the biggest ever step on stage was Ronnie Coleman. He was 300 pounds, 301 pounds. One of the years that he won Mr. Olympia. But no, there's no more serious mass monsters anymore. That guy, Nick Walker, actually. But I think he just... have you seen his shin?
It's weird, yeah. It's all like veiny and like proper worm veins in it, isn't it?
Yeah, he's a paper cut away from that. Here's one about you. How do you guys see your future in Strongman, considering Luke is a bit older and has been in the game a long time? I know I may look 22, but I think me and you are the same age, aren't we?
38. What are you? I'm 84. I was born.
Oh, I'm 85. I'm 37.
Just a young pup. But I think we've,
We
I
kind
started
of at the same time, really, did we?
Yeah, pretty much. Like
we had our first competition together over in Poland. Do you remember?
Yeah.
Really shit.
Couldn't lift a weight. It was awful.
We failed everything.
That was when Big Z got the world record log press, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was class. That was something else.
No. But I think for the same as all of us, you just want to keep progressing, don't you? You don't want to, like, I still feel like I'm getting better every time I train. I'm like every year I'm getting better. So it depends. Don't get me wrong. If someone comes around and says there's 20 million to appear in a movie, I'd be like, okay. But I love you the same as well. You love that competitiveness, the competition environment. So I'll just keep competing as long as it takes to leave a legacy.
Yeah, I think it was Big Z that said a long time ago that he was going to continue competing as long as he got stronger. So I think I'm just going to do the same thing. Even then, now, even when you hit the 40 to mid 40s age, these days you've the Masters to fall back on, which is still a good competition, I think.
That's massive.
And thanks to Rona Heinle for bringing the Masters deadlift record up to 476 kilos. It'll never again be broken.
That's insane. Big Rona.
My future, I don't know. I don't think about it too much. I kind of play it by ear, and I'll probably fall into doing television stuff. I was meant to do a film actually this week, but it's been cancelled until next week, I think. It's a film that'll be on Netflix and that, so hopefully.
Really? Can you tell us what? Can you tell us any more info, like?
I can't really, unfortunately. But keep an eye out. Here's one for you. It just says the struggle with mental health.
Yeah.
Actually, that's kind of one for everyone, isn't it?
Yeah. No,
everyone struggles for fucking mental health
Everyone
these days.
struggles. Like, everyone's like, but I think it's just like, you know, with mental health, it can be thrown around a little bit too easily. And for me, I just need to take accountability of what I do. So, like, if I'm having bad days, obviously there's a reason for it. I'm not eating right. I'm not, working or not training well. I'm not, speaking to Kush. I'm not, doing the stuff that makes me happy. And it's a massive thing. You got to build up resilience to the mental health aspect, so you know if it's going to come. Like I'll know if if I'm having a bad day when I wake up in the morning. If I wake up in the morning, I'm feeling a little bit. I just say out of sorts. Like going for a swim just changes that instantly. It's honestly it's wild. So for me, when I'm having a bad day, I know how to fix that, and I think we all have that ability. Obviously, not. There is some severe cases of people with mental health, and they need, maybe medicated and stuff. But for the masses, I think we can all control that mental health. I don't know if you share the same.
It's great to do something so simple as that you can just go to your, like I've been there with you, just down to the beach, which is like 5 minutes away from you, and it literally straightens your day up. For me, I think it's just if I get my meals right that day, like if I get up early that day. I'll be honest, I'm a lazy fucker in the mornings, so I find it hard to get up out of bed. I think I said this to you before, but like even today, like I was up at 8 o'clock or 7:30 or 8 o'clock, got my first meal in, and I think if I do that, it kind of straightens out the rest of the day for me. Everything else seems to fall in line. Do you know, if I'm a lazy fucker and I get up late, everything is behind schedule. I'm missing meals, and then it just puts me in a bad mood for the day. So for me, it's just about getting up early and getting that first meal in. I think they say the gut is connected to the mind, so I think if you're mindful of the gut, it helps with the mind.
Oof. There we go,
It's
ladies
deep,
and
isn't
gentlemen. Oh, wow. Brings a tear to my eye. Jeez, Pa.
it? Yeah, I said lots of words.
Wow.
How to come back from mistakes in strongman or personal life? Oh God, these questions are so fucking deep.
See, like with
How to come
strongman,
back
see when
from
you make a
mistakes?
mistake, like you just have a
Yeah,
laugh, don't you? You learn from it. It's like, oh, fucked up there, or it's like there's no point crying about it. Like, do you know, like when Tom and Evan, remember back in Glasgow at Giants Live,
yeah.
when they messed up in the stone. I remember, like, the day after, you just, Tom and I would have a little laugh about it. Oh, watch yourself on those stones, Tom. Because mistakes happen all the time. It doesn't mean that you're a bad strong man or a bad athlete if you make a mistake. It's just trying to, take it on the chin, I think, and then, learn from it and move on. Obviously, I never make mistakes, so I'm pretty awesome.
I was going to say I've yet to make one myself. And you know that'll tell you like how easy a mistake is, because obviously Tom is the best stone lifter of all time, and he made a complete bollocks of that stone run. And when you see him making a bollocks of the thing that he's the best at, it just goes to show like anyone can make a mistake at what you're good at. As for making what was it?
Life.
Mistake in personal life, that can be a bit different, because some mistakes in your personal life can bite you in the butt. It's a
Just,
bit broad. How to come back from mistakes in your personal life? Well, like if you burn your dinner, you can just cook another dinner. But if you burn your house down, it's a little bit different.
it's true. It's true.
That's all the questions I'm going to do. I might do some more. We'll see. You're 7 weeks out from Arnold's. How's that going?
This week's gone really well, mate. Training wise, so obviously chatting to you yesterday about a couple of things. Went in, had an event session, so I didn't post anything. I think we'll
Are you
do
going to
that,
post
Arnold.
it?
No, I don't think so. Probably do
No?
it tonight because I want an ego.
I think you should
No,
post
so,
for your log session, because that was was kind of happy I made you do that
Yeah,
because that was
yeah, it was good.
impressive.
Yeah,
That
it was
was really
decent.
impressive.
Like first kind of proper week back into, that was like 170 for 4 yesterday, clean and press. Then did a fairly heavy frame carry, up to 340 on the frame carry, which it's getting up there. It's getting to that, decent weights now. And again, in comparison to, last week or a couple of weeks ago, it's hitting like 140 in the log. So now's the time, as we were saying, you really need to push on and get that. You need to get your body ready for it. Your central nervous system, if you
Yeah,
do a week, your last week is going to be the heaviest week and you've jumped up another 20 kilos, whatever it is, it's just going to be fried. So for me, as we were saying, just really pushing on in every week that we do now. We did some dumbbell press yesterday, so just up to 104 on the dumbbell again after the sets and the log. That felt really snappy. So, and dumbbell, it's one that you just need to. For me, I just need to keep ticking over with. Just do a few singles, just to get that explosive power. And the more explosive I am in the dumbbell, the more explosive I am with the log press and stuff like that. So,
yeah,
yeah, I feel like anything I can do to be explosive, like push press, try and do more of a jerk, like a push jerk. The dumbbell, I don't know, maybe it's just pressing for me when I'm throwing stuff above my head. I just feel more snappy the more I do. And like you said, it's only 7 weeks till Arnold, so I've got to be really snappy to get that 200 log up for some reps. And so no, it was good. Squatting today as well, so I'm going to go a bit heavier in the squats, maybe kind of push it to 300 or so. So we'll see.
oh yes, 300.
Yes, and then do the skier for 2 kilometers.
5 reps of 300, right? And do your 2K then. 2K on the skier. Joe, it's funny, going back to what you were saying there, that once your dumbbell is snappy, it brings along your log being snappy. You must be the only human that applies to. Because I'm a really good dumbbell presser. Well, I'm a good dumbbell presser. Like I've done 120 for a couple of reps. Barbell pressing, from my neck I've done 230 kilos. From the front I've done 200 kilos. I could do probably 200 kilos any day of the week, really, to be honest. I'm just good at barbell pressing. But see, log, me and log just don't get on. Like I have log today, and I can tell you, I'm gonna tell you now, I'm gonna fuck it up.
Oh God.
That's how positive I am about my log pressing. But see, now if I was doing barbell pressing, I could do 4 reps 180 today if I just did standing barbell pressing. I'm gonna do a bit of dumbbell because obviously that's coming up in the future. I like that. I might work up to 100 for a single, maybe 2 or 3 singles. But see that fucking log. Nah.
Weird, man.
It just does not. I was saying this to I can't remember who I was talking to about. It was Dale actually was saying to about you and your log, and it just always clicks for you. You never go through a bad stage of log. Like everyone I think goes through a shitty stage with the log. George, it's always like this because the log is just such. It's not a bar. Do you know what I mean? And just you with your log, it's always there. It's always there for you. It's so annoying. Like I think you did 180 log press there over the Christmas, and you weren't even training properly, and you're doing nothing, and you just popped a little 180 up. It's really annoying.
I mean, you've got behind the neck stuff, and your funny stuff that you do, which is nice. So it's,
Yeah, but you're funny too.
I don't know what it is, but I think it's like a mindset thing. See, with me and my when I do log,
I think it's a thing. You're just built log press. That's just it, isn't it?
I think so. I just feel like
There's not more.
I don't know. It's just one of those things. I guess it's just I remember the first time I did it at Giants Live and I failed the 150 reps against Terry. I spoke about it before, and like I said to myself, never again am I going to fail like a log at 150 log. And thankfully, I haven't failed it again since. I don't think so.
It's funny your log progression, because I remember you failed that 150 log. It was for reps, wasn't it? And you got 0 reps. And your progression from 150 to 200 was fairly slow, I think. It like took years. But then your 200 to 230 was like a couple of months. It should have been the other way around.
Yeah. I think it was just
Well, not a couple of months, but it was a short time, because I remember your first 200 was at Scotland's Strongest Man, wasn't it?
yeah.
Off the top of my head, I think it was a steel log. You did your first 200, and not long after that, you were banging out 220, 225. And I remember thinking to myself, what is this fucker doing?
Well, I think she with I know I mentioned it a lot, but she were working on the rigs, on the oil rigs. Like there was never. So when I hit my first 200, that was when I was still working away. So I'd maybe only be able to train log once a month. So I'd be away for 3 weeks, home for a week, then away again. So I'd only get maybe a dozen log sessions in a year. And then when I stopped working offshore, then I was able to train log every week, and then that like just went. It was like night and day. That kind of progression. Able to, get your hands on an actual log and train with it. It was night and day for me. And like you say, my body, my physique, I think is very suited for a log. And it's just a mindset thing for me now. When I go into a log, like it's not often that when I see a log, I get nervous or anything. I know it's there. I know the power's there. I know the strength's there. And when we had the Worlds, it was like 145 or something for reps. Like I was like, that's for me. That was like insane. It was like so light. I'm like, I'm going to be knackered.
That's like your second or third one.
Yeah, it's like that's basically our third lift when we're warming up. Which again, it's you got to have that fitness, I guess, to do those reps. But it gives me like a 180, 200 kilo log for reps. That's when I get quite excited. That's why the Arnold's is going to be quite good fun, I think.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. Can't wait. Yeah, have you dumbbell at? You don't have dumbbell at the Arnold's, have you?
No, we don't have dumbbell at the Arnold's. So that's why we're only just sticking around the 100 kilo for some, just keep that snap going. Yeah.
That's sweet. Sweet as a nut.
Okay.
So, I think we've spoke. We've let off enough steam, I think, for now. We've a lot of information in 28 minutes given out. You know how to deal with mental health. You know how to get better at log by not doing a dozen sessions a year. Do you know what? Now that you say that, it kind of makes sense, because it was around that time that you hit 200 that you come off the rig and you got to practice on your log then, and that's when it really just fucking took off to What is your best log press?
228 and a half.
228 and a half. 228 and a half. So yeah, that's why it escalated fast from 200 to 228 and a half.
Being able to train with the log makes you better.
At log. Who knew?
Give me
anyway,
money.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys. Make sure you check out stoltmans.com and poweredwire.com. Buy some merch. Buy some drugs, whatever. Oh, I'm going to have to delete that out. Anyway, see you later, guys.
Fucking hell.